What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So if you're looking to turn your backyard into a functional, stylish, and weather-resistant oasis, today's video is for you. In today's video, we're going to be diving deep into this 12 by 12 Kozyard Hardtop Gazebo in dark gray with a white roof. Now this is a premium structure that brings serious durability and elevated design to your outdoor space. Now, if you're like me, you'll quickly realize that there are a ton of gazebos out there to choose from. So the first thing I want to do is thank Kozyard for sending me out this unit to unbox, review, and share with you my thoughts about one of their flagship gazebos. Anyways, with that in mind, very few gazebos combine robust materials, clean aesthetics, and year-round utility like this Kozyard model. It's not just another pop-up tent or even a seasonal canopy. This is a permanent fixture in your backyard, whether you're hosting barbecues, relaxing with a book, or you're just someone who wants solid protection from sun, rain, and even snow. This gazebo is built for every aesthetic and every single condition. So with that in mind, let's talk really quickly about some of the key highlights for this gazebo that I was sent. The first thing I want to focus on is, of course, the 12-foot by 12-foot footprint that comfortably fits most major outdoor seating or dining sets. In addition to that, it's also got a galvanized steel roof, which is UV and snow resistant. It's also got a dark gray aluminum frame, which is supposed to be rust-proof, powder-coated, and super durable. And then just like the outer roof, it's got a white interior ceiling finish, which creates a bright open feel. Now what I actually like about this white powder-coated roof is that it actually reflects more light downward, making the inside feel brighter and more open. And because the outer portion of the roof is also white, it also does reflect away a lot of heat. In fact, it is a completely subtle but smart design touch for this entire gazebo. Now, when it comes to shipping, delivery was very quick and it arrived within a week of me placing my order. In fact, all of the parts were separated into 5 large boxes and delivered on a securely wrapped pallet. So definitely you want to make sure that you have help when trying to move the boxes, since some of them, I gotta admit, were pretty heavy. Now, the very first thing that I noticed when unboxing the parts for this structure was the quality of the materials. This is where this gazebo really earns its price tag, which, by the way, is one of the best priced gazebos that I've found anywhere, coming in at around $1,300, not counting taxes, of course. The galvanized steel roof panels are incredibly strong, and they're way better than those polycarbonate or fabric material roofs, which is what you'll probably find with other brands around the same price range. Apparently, the steel roof can hold up to 2,500 pounds of snow and debris, and that is, of course, no joke. Now, the frame itself is made from some heavy-duty aluminum, which means you're not going to see any kind of rust streaks once it's set up, like you would with cheaper kits. Now, as you'll notice, aesthetically, once this gazebo is assembled, the modern gray and white contrast works with just about any backyard palette, whether you've got natural wood, pavers, stone, or even concrete. Now, as you can see from my installation, I decided to build it on my grassy yard and place them on top of a couple of pavers, since my cement patio extension was not yet complete and is still in progress. Now this, of course, may seem a little backward and out of order, but I wanted to make sure that my patio extension was the right measurement to accommodate the completed gazebo. That and the fact that I should, with a couple of friends, be able to move this constructed gazebo once my patio extension is completed. But that, of course, will be a separate and follow-up video that we'll share later. Now, when it comes to the installation and assembly experience, be warned. This isn't a one-person Saturday morning project. Now, honestly, I thought I could do it all alone at first, but then I realized that having 2 or more people made it so much easier and so much faster to assemble. Now, Kozyard recommends at least 2 people, and from personal experience, I'd say 3 is even better. But you can start on your own and complete it with a single friend or even a family member, which is what I ended up doing. Now, from a timing perspective, you're looking at anywhere between 6 to 10 hours total, depending on your tools, the help you have, and prep. So make sure that you are planning your build around your weekends and your free time, and especially around the weather. Now, to be completely transparent, my build ended up taking 2 days, which were spaced a week apart because of an unexpected week of hail and thunderstorms, which I thought was a bit weird considering that it is now the start of summer. But as you can see, it survived the storm and hail, and it turned out pretty nice. Now, if you plan on buying this and assembling it on your own, there are some tips for setup and lessons that I learned that I picked up along the way. The first piece of advice is to organize all the parts first. The boxes and some of the parts are heavy, but they're well labeled. I also recommend you use a cordless impact driver, not just a hand wrench, to make things go smoother and faster. You'll also want to be careful because the screws and the bolts can get stripped, so you definitely want to adjust the torque on your drill. And then next, the roof assembly is definitely the hardest part. You'll want to take your time and make sure that you've got a friend or even a family member helping for that part. You'll also want to make sure that you are screwing and tightening the screws as you go, especially the middle layer screws for the roof itself. The outer edge screws of the roof you can do all at once when all the panels are installed, but I do recommend you go one at a time and screw and secure them in so they aren't flying off while you're trying to build it. Now, if you are building out one of these gazebos, anchoring to concrete or wood is of course recommended for wind resistance. But as you can see, my gazebo remained pretty intact by just laying some heavy garden pavers on the base plates of the gazebo itself, which I think did a great job holding the gazebo in place during the heavy thunderstorm and all that wind. Now in the future, and in a future video, I do plan on anchoring this gazebo down to the cement patio extension once that project is complete. So definitely check back to see how that turns out and watch that video. Now, before taking on a task or project of this size, you'll definitely want to keep in mind that this project is a commitment for sure. But once the gazebo is up, it's super solid and very durable. You'll immediately get the feeling that this structure isn't going anywhere at all. In fact, once this thing is assembled and done, and even as you're building it, you'll already begin to feel the benefits and you'll appreciate what you accomplished. Now, we've talked about how durable and how nice the frame and the roof are, but beyond the frame and the roof, there are actually a bunch of thoughtful extras that make this gazebo super livable. For one, it's got a separate built-in mosquito netting layer that you can zip up to keep the bugs out during the summer months. In addition to that, it's also got an outer privacy curtain layer that is great for blocking wind or noisy neighbors. It's actually very thick and will actually block out any kind of air as well, so it can get pretty hot in there when everything is sealed up. And the other thing is that it is a super durable material. In addition to that, and something that I do appreciate, is that the gazebo does have integrated hook rings for hanging lights, fans, or even a small heater on the ceiling. And then what's also nice and unexpected and not visible at all is that it's got a hidden gutter system that channels water out and away, preventing drips at the edge and the interior of the gazebo. And then finally, it's also got a ventilated roof peak that lets hot air escape and reduces wind uplift, but it also has a mesh frame all around just to keep bugs from entering the interior of the gazebo when it's all sealed. Now, in its current state and placement, I'm planning to just use this space to house some of my indoor and outdoor hydroponic systems to protect my plants from the blistering Texas heat. But eventually, when we move the gazebo to its final place on our extended backyard patio, I do plan on hanging up some bistro lights and a fan to make the space a covered sitting and dining area. What I'm expecting is that the gazebo and the ambiance at night will make the space cozy and surreal. It'll be cozy, elegant, and super functional, especially for family gatherings. Okay, so because a lot of us don't like spending upwards of $1,000, what about the long-term durability of this gazebo? Well, just by looking at it, this doesn't seem to be one of those replace it every 2 years type of gazebos. In fact, the steel roof means you won't be dealing with sagging or even sun damage, and then the aluminum won't rust according to Kozyard. Especially if you're someone who takes care of it and clears off snow and debris regularly if you get hit with a major storm. And as you can see, the gazebo survived without any damage from the recent huge hailstorm and thunderstorm that passed through our area. Now, from a maintenance standpoint, Kozyard does recommend that you hose it down every few months just to keep it clean and clutter-free. They also recommend that you check and tighten fasteners seasonally. In addition to that, you'll want to spray a silicone lube on the zippers and track glides to keep everything in tip-top condition. Now, if you're a homeowner who wants more than just a temporary shade solution that is both durable and affordable, and if you're also someone who enjoys hosting friends, you love outdoor dinners, or just want a year-round cover for your hot tub, your fire pit, or even your dining space, this Kozyard Gazebo is a smart upgrade to your backyard space. It's easy to assemble, it's easy to maintain, it looks great in any environment and in any space, and it's a structure that adapts to any kind of condition. You can set it up for a party one day and then a personal retreat the next, and it'll make a great addition to pretty much any backyard. And then best of all, it's super affordable for what you get. So with that in mind, let's break down some of the pros and some of the cons that I've discovered while having this. Starting with the pros. First off, it's got a durable galvanized steel roof that looks great and can withstand any and all elements. It's also beautiful with a modern aesthetic, and it fits in and amplifies pretty much any space. It's also got a bright interior thanks to the white roof, which also does a great job of reflecting heat. And then I like that it includes a mosquito netting layer to keep away pesky insects, because there are just a ton of mosquitoes out here. And then it's completely wind, sun, and snow resistant, and it'll pretty much withstand any kind of storm and temperature and any kind of season that you can throw at it. And then when it comes to the cons, I could only think of very few, which of course weren't really cons at all. The first being the time-consuming installation and build, especially if you're doing it alone. This means it also does require at least 2 people, and that of course is recommended. Now you can try to put it together on your own, but I would highly not recommend it, because you will potentially hurt yourself, and it is going to be very time-consuming and very difficult. And then at first glance, when I started assembling this gazebo, I did think it was a bit short, but when I completed it, it did get a lot taller. However, it is shorter than my existing backyard patio roof. But you can also elevate and mount the gazebo on elevated stone or wood pillars, which is something that I might do to get more height. But on its own, once it's assembled, it is a good height for most, if not all, people. As you can see, I can clearly walk in without hitting the roof or anything. So it is a good height for pretty much anyone, except if you're 6 feet tall. So after assembling and using this gazebo for a couple of weeks, is it worth it? For me, absolutely. This gazebo isn't just a purchase, it's an investment in my outdoor lifestyle. You'll get more use out of your yard, you'll entertain more, and you'll definitely have a year-round structure that actually enhances your property and space. Now, if you're someone who's been on the fence, or you've been struggling to find a great gazebo at a decent price, I'd say go for it. This gazebo is amazing. Just make sure that you plan and carve out a full day for install, grab a buddy or two, and prepare to be impressed. Anyways, I do want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. If you found this review and walkthrough helpful, please support this channel by giving this video a thumbs up. Please also subscribe for more backyard upgrades, smart home gear, and honest product reviews. Now, if you've got questions about this 12x12 Kozyard Gazebo, drop them in the comments section below. I'll try my best to respond to every single question. Thanks again to Kozyard for sending this out to me to review and unbox. Now, if you want one of these for yourself, you can use my link and discount code in the description section below to get one for yourself. You definitely won't regret it. Anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.